EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for October 26th, 2021. We are in the midst of a nor'easter, and that is going to bring heavy rain, a continuation of heavy rain across the region today. We had that starting last night, and some decent amounts of rain have fallen already overnight at the time this video is recorded in some parts of the area, and it's going to continue on Tuesday. Okay, so throughout most of the day, this is looking at the early morning hours. We're going to see this low out here offshore. This is really going to get cranking and pivot, and it's going to do one of these numbers. This is kind of like and I hate to use the reference here because snow lovers are going to hate this, but this is very similar to a February blizzard of 1978 track. So if this were wintertime, this would be one doozy of a snowstorm, but instead we're looking at heavy rain because it's not cold enough yet for this. There's no cold air source. So, this was off the Carolinas yesterday. It's going to do one of these little numbers, stop just south of southern New England here, do a loop like this, and then head out in this direction like this. So this is going to be a retrograding low, and it is going to produce a lot of rain and wind, especially for southern New England. But I'm thinking in our area that the wind is going to be less of a concern, not eliminated, but it's going to be less of a concern. We're dealing with heavy rain mostly here today across the region. As this pivots, you can see the axis of this is going to swing back through during the course of the afternoon and evening before this tapers off the showers in the evening and overnight. So this is not going to it's not going to keep going, but this low is going to keep looping and then finally pull out to the east here on Wednesday and away from our area. So here's the NAM high-res future simulated radar. I'm shut this off at 6 a.m. Again, last night we had a more north-south oriented line that was pretty wide across the area, dumping some pretty good amounts of rain. And now it's going to be more this morning, a northwest to southeast aligned heavy axis of rain. Okay, so this is going to keep pivoting throughout the day. It's going to see that pivoting right there, and it's going to send everything up to the north, but then later in the afternoon, when we get in the afternoon, this is all going to pivot back to the south again. And we're going to get some residual showers that are going to go through the evening, and this is going to taper off during the overnight period. So by the time we get to Wednesday morning, we are high and dry and returning to partly cloudy skies. Here is the wind aspect of things. I think the winds are going to pick up this afternoon, especially in our central PA counties. We'll have some winds out there, 25 to 30-ish. And then once we get into this evening and overnight, we'll have another thrust of wind coming in here with those the remaining bands coming through. And I think for the most part, we're dealing with in the interior, we're dealing with some 25, maybe up to 35 mile per hour gusts, but commonly 25 to 30 as we go through the evening and overnight. And you'll have a few gusts that go a little higher than that. But the main show for wind, I think, and here's the wind right here, as you get just before Wednesday morning, you see some wind gusts 30 to 35 in the interior, maybe 40, lower 40s, top week peak wind gusts across New Jersey and mainly northern New Jersey and coastal New Jersey for that to occur. So you see that northern New Jersey here, coastal New Jersey. This is where you're getting the highest wind speeds in the lower 40s. So this is not an incredible amount of wind, but it's enough that we have such a saturation of rain on the ground that this is going to cause some power outage issues because of the prolonged nature of the wind. It's not that it's that high, it's over many hours. The duration is going to be an issue. If you did catch social media, I posted on my Twitter yesterday and on the Facebook page, our business Facebook page, the rain map, okay? And this is the rain map for today, for the entire event. This actually started last night, and we'll go through the entire end of the event overnight tonight. And this is the total amounts of precipitation expected. This yellow area here is our western areas. Our far western areas are about a half inch to an inch. That's in the green here. The yellow is 1 to 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches in the red areas, and 3 to 4 inches of rain expected in the purple area. So you see the highest concentration is far eastern Pennsylvania, the Poconos especially, and then most of New Jersey except for far southwestern New Jersey, which will be in 2 to 3. But still, that's a lot of rain, and a lot of that is going to be pivoting this morning across these same areas. So they're going to be a lot of 3 to 4 inch amounts common here and some locally higher amounts. We allow for locally higher amounts in both of these areas, D and E, to exceed those ranges of 2 to 3 in D and 3 to 4 in the purple areas, and that's on a localized basis. So most of the areas, what this means is that most of these areas are going to be 3 to 4 inches, but you could have a few spots in here that exceed 4 inches, but in an isolated or localized area where that heavier banding takes place. So we are a little cooler today, 58 to 62 with the temperature spread with that rain, and then we're going to be 60 to 65 on Wednesday with skies turning partly cloudy, and then we're going to turn mostly sunny by the time we get to Thursday, and temperatures very, very similar to what we have for Wednesday. Then we have the next system coming in. Now, I don't want to get anybody alarmed like this is going to be a repeat and of the same thing we just had. It is going to be a decent event. It's not going to be as impactful, okay? This first one is the stronger of the two, the one we're dealing with now. The one on Friday looks like it's coming with showers on Friday morning, some steadier rain Friday evening and part of the overnight. And then this is going to lift off to the north. But this is looking like a lot of half-inch to an inch type stuff, maybe a little bit over an inch in a few spots. So this is not as potent in terms of total rainfall. This is going to be quicker moving. It's not as long of a duration, and the winds are not going to be a big concern with this like it is with this one, although it's not really too bad. It's just the duration of this. It's going to be a quicker moving system. So we're looking at showers Friday, revolving into a steadier rain in the afternoon, evening, and at least part of the overnight, maybe late evening. It starts to taper back to showers. And this lifts off to the north. Then we have some residual showers kind of spinning around this low until it lifts out on Saturday. And then Sunday, we are back to partly cloudy skies and mostly sunny skies by the time we get to Monday. So we just have to get through the next 24 hours or so, and I think we'll be okay. It's just it's the first nor'easter of the season. This is typically the time of year when you see nor'easters. They start coming back into play in the middle of October, and that runs right through November, even December sometimes. Although if you go later in the season, then you start dealing with snow events rather than rain events. We're still too warm for that. There's no snow component to this. But if this happens 2 months from now in a similar setup, it's probably going to be a major snowstorm across the region with that same kind of track. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for October 26, 2021. Have a great Tuesday.